The University of Toronto is one of Canada's leading research and teaching institutions. We take pride in creating an intellectual environment that facilitates original research and protection of scholarly work. As a member of the university, you have an obligation to yourself, your fellow students, and U of T to maintain the standards of academic integrity and honesty in all your coursework. So what is academic integrity? Academic integrity represents a set of values connected to maintaining honesty and fairness in our learning environment. Intellectually honest learners do not pass off another person's work as their own and do not take advantage of unauthorized aids. Their grades are earned fairly and reflect true learning. This video will explain several different types of offenses and the potential penalties, as well as how to avoid finding yourself in a situation where you commit an academic offense. Plagiarism. Plagiarism is a serious offense at the university. It is important to acknowledge the scholarly work of others who share valuable knowledge through their research. Instructors can easily identify pieces of literature that may not belong to a student, and can identify their students' different styles of writing when grading academic work. They can also identify if the work is original through online resources such as turnitin.com. Scenario 1. Plagiarism. You have an essay due at the end of the week. You locate a few journal articles that help you prepare for your paper and decide to incorporate different sections of the journal articles into some of your work without using citations. You also paraphrase some of the sources without appropriately citing the information and submit the paper. You cannot represent the work of another as your own in any academic assignments, including essays and tests. To do so is to commit plagiarism. Care and attention must be given to all outside sources used in your assignments. For example, any information taken from books, lectures, or the internet must be accompanied by the appropriate citation, and put in quotations if taken directly from the source. It's also important to take the time to properly cite your sources. You cannot accurately cite a source by simply guessing page numbers, books, or names. Submitting any academic work containing a purported statement or fact, or reference to a source which has been concocted, is an academic offense. You must give credit to those whose ideas you've used. Failure to do so can result in a range of consequences. It's far better to submit a paper late than to submit one with plagiarized information. Scenario 2. Submitting purchased work. You just remembered that you have a paper due in 2 days. You decide to visit an essay service website and buy a paper online. You replace the author's name with your own and submit the paper. Submitting purchased work is a very serious offense at the university and can result in severe sanctions. Unauthorized assistance. It's important to produce original work and to maintain intellectual creativity as an individual. Using unauthorized aids, like a cell phone or a cheat sheet when writing a test or exam, compromises the integrity of your work and represents an unfair advantage over the other students in the course. Using unauthorized aids is an offense, and providing another student with unauthorized assistance is also an offense. Scenario 3. Submitting a friend's work. You have an assignment due by the end of the week. You're having a hard time getting started, so you ask your friend who's previously taken or is currently taking the course to send you a copy of their assignment. You end up panicking and decide to submit your friend's paper as your own. Using your friend's assignment to complete your work is unauthorized assistance as well as plagiarism. The friend that gave you the assignment can also be charged with an academic offense. In another case, if you're supposed to work with a group but fail to contribute and the project is still submitted with your name on it, you are taking ownership of your team's work without any contribution. This can be considered as unauthorized assistance, misrepresentation, and academic dishonesty. Both you and the team members can be charged with an academic offense and sanctioned accordingly. Scenario 4. Unauthorized aid during an exam. You're taking your final exam. Despite multiple warnings prohibiting the use of unauthorized aids, you decide to keep your cell phone in your back pocket or forget you have it with you altogether. A CPO notices the phone in your pocket and takes it away. Whether you plan to use the aid or not, you are not permitted to have any unauthorized aids on your person or near you while taking a test or exam. Instead, place your items in your bag in the front of the room or in the clear sealable plastic bags provided to you. Failure to comply with reminders about unauthorized aids can result in serious sanctions. Attempting to access unauthorized aids, such as notes hidden in the bathroom or scribbled on skin, will be met with similar or more severe penalties. Other scenarios. Academic offenses can take many other different forms. Scenario 5. Altering a test. Your instructor has handed you back a test and you didn't get the mark that you wanted. You panic and decide to erase and change some of the answers on the test and submit it to be remarked. You cannot alter any of your answers on a test after it's been graded and returned to you. Altering your answers is considered to be a form of fraud in order to obtain an academic advantage by trying to get more marks. This also applies to altering any documents that would excuse you from a test, exam, or assignment, such as a funeral document, death certificate, or doctor's note. To forge, alter, or falsify any document or evidence required by the university is an academic offense. Scenario 6. Recycled work. You have a paper due soon, and you realize that you previously wrote a paper on the same topic for a different course. You decide to add a couple paragraphs and submit the recycled paper without confirming with the professor if you're allowed to use it. Submitting a recycled paper without gaining permission from the course instructor is an academic offense. Make sure you always get permission in writing from the instructor before reusing old assignments. Scenario 7. Impersonation. You're worried about an upcoming exam. You really don't think it's going to go well, so you convince your friend to take the exam for you. During the test, the TA notices that the student on the T card is not the same person taking the test, and takes the necessary actions to confirm it. Having someone impersonate you, either in person or electronically, is a serious academic offense that will cause both the impersonated and the impersonator to be subject to sanctions. Always take your test or exam yourself. You might surprise yourself with how much you truly know. Scenario 8. Academic advantage. The instructor calls timeout at an exam. You rush to finish a Scantron sheet even though all students must stop writing. A TA approaches you and takes your test away. When it's announced that time is up, you must stop writing immediately. By continuing writing after time is up, you are deliberately trying to gain an advantage over the other students who have already stopped writing. Make sure to manage your time while taking an exam, so you don't have to rush to finish and risk the chance of going over the allowed time. Here are the potential sanctions if you're caught committing an academic offense. For a first offense, if resolved with the dean, those charged with an academic offense will receive one or more of the following sanctions. A mark of 0 on the assignment. A further reduction of the equivalent value of the assignment. For example, if the work is worth 15 marks, you could potentially lose 30 marks from your final grade. And an annotation on your transcript for a specific period of time, up to a maximum of 5 years. For a second offense, if resolved with the dean, those charged with an academic offense will receive one or more of the following sanctions. A final grade of 0 in the course. A suspension from attending U of T for up to 12 months, and an annotation on your transcript for a specific period of time, up to a maximum of 5 years. However, depending on the nature of the offense, students can also face more severe sanctions. The sanctions imposed can also vary in severity depending on the level at which they are resolved. Cases can be resolved with a department, dean's office, or tribunal. All sanctions may create issues to a student's academic career. By enrolling as a student at U of T, it is understood that you ought to have known what is considered an academic offense. Claiming that you didn't know won't work. You cannot drop a course where an academic offense was committed, ever. The final grade for the course will appear, and if you have requested a credit no credit, it will be revoked. For smart strategies to help prevent you from committing an academic offense, visit the Academic Integrity's website at utm.utoronto.ca/academic integrity. Academic offenses are not worth the risk. It's better to be honest and hand in a paper late or receive a lower grade than you'd hoped for than to receive sanctions and have them potentially delay your graduation or lower your chances of finding postgraduate employment. Stay honest and you'll avoid the mistakes that could cost you your academic career. And make sure to visit UTM's Academic Integrity website for more information and resources.